Hello and welcome to this week's show. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm your host Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. Our goal for the show is to always equip you, the viewer, with accurate financial information so you can make educated decisions for both you and your family. Now we've got a great show lined up for you today, so thanks for watching. We're going to be tackling some difficult financial questions, and we want to take some things that could be somewhat complicated and make them simple and easy to understand. So come on in and have some fun with us today.
In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, Trey Winowitz was forced to move himself and his family over 600 miles north and begin his financial planning practice again, from scratch. Since then, Winowitz Financial has become a national success story, establishing itself as a trusted source for financial advice in and around East Tennessee. In return, Trey gives back to the community by sponsoring monthly educational workshops and annual charity events. He also hosts a weekly radio show informing and entertaining those in need of financial advice. So, if you'd like to understand more about today's challenging financial environment, if you'd like to overcome your current financial situation, and want to learn from someone with a track record of overcoming, stay tuned for some trusted financial advice that's right on the money.
Now let's get to our main topic, protecting yourself from identity theft. Now we live in an age of technology and information, and while it can be nice that we have so many ways to keep in touch and so many things readily available to us, we've also found that there are many more ways to be taken advantage of. Now, when we talk about identity theft, maybe we need to first define exactly what we mean by that. Wikipedia defines it as this: identity theft is a crime of obtaining the personal financial information of another person for the sole purpose of assuming their identity in order to make transactions or purchases.
It's become a rather large problem these days, and I hear stories all the time about people who've had their information stolen and consequently lost money, or other people who have been tricked into giving away valuable information about themselves. Information which can be used by thieves to completely wipe out someone's bank account or life savings.
Very funny, Stephen. Thanks. A few years ago, my wife and I had an experience with identity thefts personally. We had taken a trip to Mexico, and when we got back in town, we had received our credit card statement, and it had several charges on it, and we knew right away that we didn't make those charges when we had been out of town. So we called up our credit card company and got those charges removed. Fortunately, everything turned out okay, but it was a big headache, and we had to go back and make sure that our account would be secure in the future. Even so, I would say this incident was kind of a wake-up call for us as well, reminding us that we needed to do a better job in making sure that we were doing all that we could to protect all of our valuable personal information. The good news is you can protect yourself. If you stick around for our show today, here's what you'll learn. On today's show, we'll take a look at all the ways that identity theft can happen. We'll then give you a short list of simple things that you can do to protect yourself. Then we'll go over another list from Forbes.com that will detail things you can do to protect your privacy as well. These tips will help deter identity theft to even a greater degree. So now we're going to take a quick break. I hope you can stay tuned. I'll see you back in just a second.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, Call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Thanks again for joining us. I'm Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. Today we're talking about how to protect yourself from identity theft. We've already defined it for you. Now I want to tell you a little bit more about how it happens. These are the most common ways that thieves steal your personal information. Have you ever heard of any of these things before? Dumpster diving. Now, what's that? Actually, it's what you think it is. It's when a thief rummages through your trash looking for bills or other papers with anything personal on it. Skimming. That's when someone steals your credit card or debit card numbers with a special storage device while processing your credit card. What about phishing? No, not at the lake. It's when thieves pretend to be financial institutions, the government, or even a friend. They contact you by phone, email, social media, or now even text messages. They want you to click on a link and open an attachment or reveal personal financial information. Very, very prevalent today. Now, most of us are familiar with the next two. Changing your address. Thieves can actually divert your billing statements to another location by completing a change of address form. Number 5 is old-fashioned stealing. Thieves still take wallets and purses. They also take mail, including bank and credit card statements, or pre-approved credit offers, new checks, and tax information. Also, they could steal personnel records from their employers or bribe employees who have access to those records as well. Now, before the next break, I want to give you 6 of Trey's tips to help protect you from ID theft. Number 1 is protect your Social Security number. Don't carry it in your wallet or write it on a check. Give it out only if absolutely necessary or use another form of ID. I remember when I got my driver's license over 20 years ago, you know what my license number was? My social. And I guess times have changed a little bit since then, right? Number 2, don't give out personal information over the phone, mail, or the internet. This just leaves you open for attack. Next, don't ever click on unsolicited email links. This seems very simple, but you'd be very surprised how many people are just curious. Then it gets them into big trouble. Number 4 is make sure that you're using a firewall, anti-spyware, and antivirus software to protect your computer, and keep them up to date. Number 5 is don't use an obvious password like your birthday, your mother's maiden name, or the last 4 of your social. Use different things for your banking, email, and other social media as well. And number 6 is keep your personal information secure at home, especially if you have roommates or employ outside help in your home. It's time for us to take another break now, but when we come back, we'll go over a list from Forbes.com with some of their tips for protecting your privacy. This will turn into an even better defense against identity theft. I hope you can stick around. I'll see you in just a second.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity, and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Trey Winowitz and you're watching Right on the Money. We've been talking about identity theft and how to protect yourself from it today. We've covered what it means when someone tries to steal your identity and all the ways that they try to access your information. Then I gave you a few tips for defending yourself. To close out this segment of the show, I want to go over a list from Forbes.com. These are a few simple things you can do to protect your privacy, which will make you even safer from possible identity theft. Now let's take a look. Number 1 is to password protect your devices, your smartphone, iPad, computer, or tablet. Now, you guys do this, right? Choosing not to password protect these things is the digital equivalent of leaving your home or car unlocked. Then you can also put your Google alert on your name. This is an incredibly easy way to stay on top of what's being said about you online. You just go to google.com/alerts, enter your name with variations and quotation marks around it. This is a great tip and you should all do it. Number 3 is sign out of Facebook, Gmail, or any social networking media. This prevents someone else from getting snoopy on your account. If you're using someone else's or a public computer, it's especially important. Number 4, don't give out your email address or phone number or zip code when asked. Obviously, if someone sketchy asks you for your number, just say no. But when the asker is a uniform-wearing employee, many consumers immediately share their private information. Stores often use this information to profile you for your purchase, and it's okay to say no. Number 5 is pay cash for personal items. Don't want a purchase to be easily tracked? Use cash, it's that simple. Then you can change your Facebook settings to friends only. Look in your privacy settings to do that. Number 7, clear your browser history and cookies on a regular basis. Go to the privacy settings on your browser options to do that on whatever browser that you're using. Well, that's everything we've got for you today about protecting yourself in our digital age. If you have any questions about some of the things discussed in today's show, please feel free to call us at the office. I want to do whatever I can to make your identity and especially your money protected. So let me know what we can do to help and we'll get all these things taken care of. Coming up next, learn how people just like you have benefited from a no-cost second opinion. Don't miss our Money Matters segment on the other side of this break.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Now that we're back, I'd like to tell you about some real-life folks that you can relate to. Because it never hurts to have an extra pair of objective eyes take a look at your situation and see what can be improved. Even if strategies that you're using can't be improved on, sometimes people say it's a huge comfort when I tell them that what they're doing is working well, or maybe they should continue on the same path. However, in some cases we discover that some of the products or strategies they thought worked in a certain way actually don't. And sometimes not getting a second opinion can be very costly. If you want to be a part of this Money Matters segment, please give us a call at the office for a complimentary review. As you'll see, everything's kept confidential, but your situation may help some of our other viewers secure their financial future. So give me a call and maybe your case will get picked for the show. I want to take a second to introduce you to a few people who came in the office recently for a no-obligation second opinion, just to be sure. And these people were glad that they did. So let's take a look at this week's case. Hey, Janet, can you bring me my notes? Thanks. All right. This week's case study is a 42-year-old professor, worked at the university. And as well, his wife, 44, is in sales. They came in for a meeting and a review after listening to our radio show. And then after the radio show, they actually signed up for one of our weekly financial workshops. Their main concerns: they wanted us to review their current life insurance coverage. They had one child in school, college, and one in high school. They had been contemplating refinancing their home with all the talk about low interest rates, saving money. That was something that was a concern to them, and they wanted to analyze their current situation. Also, they wanted to look at a safer alternative. They had a few Roth IRAs and traditional IRAs that they had purchased along the way, and they wanted to know if there was a way to put them in a place that was a little bit more safer so they didn't move as much when the market went down. Steps to success. We analyzed, as we always do, being independent, all their life insurance objectives and goals. We shopped it around with a bunch of different A-rated life insurance carriers. We then got them a meeting with our trusted mortgage professional. We have an in-house mortgage professional, and he can go over any options that you may have and compare it to what you're already doing. Then we researched some other no-fee alternatives for their IRAs and their Roths to see if we could find something that was a solution. Results. After shopping both of their life insurance policies, we were able to redo both of their life insurance policies and save them $35 a month. Now, not only did we save them money every month, but we increased their coverage about $50,000 apiece on their life insurance protection. After our initial meeting with the mortgage professional, we were able to analyze with him their situation. We came up with a refinance option that was able to save them hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest over the life of their loan and help them pay the loans off in about 5 years less time when they get closer to retirement. Also, we found some no-fee alternatives for their IRAs, and we're able to add some guarantees and some income benefits to those Roths so that when they do retire, they're going to have some guaranteed tax-free income for the rest of their lives. Give us a call today for a complimentary review, and if your scenario gets picked for the show, you're going to receive a right-on-the-money prize pack. But most of all, we want to help you. Coming up next, another opportunity for you to be a part of the show. Post it on our Facebook, tweet us, or email us your financial questions, and stick around for the viewer mail section.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With Principal Protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
Welcome back to Right on the Money. I'm your host, Trey Winowitz, and it's time for you, the viewer, to be an integral part of this show, Viewer Mail. This is the part of the show where you send us your questions about anything financial. In order to get your questions to me, you can post them on our Facebook page, tweet your question to me at TreyWTV, or email them to me at advice@TreyWTV. If your question happens to get answered for the show, you'll receive a Right on the Money prize pack just for your willingness to help out our other viewers. This package has a retail value of over $50, so please don't stop sending us those questions. Our first viewer mail question today is, how much money can I get from a reverse mortgage? Well, the amount you can receive depends on several factors, including your age, the value of your home, and the amount of equity that you've built up. Also, interest rates and the payment options that you choose. I will say, though, a reverse mortgage can be a great tool if used appropriately, but it should also fit into the rest of your financial plan and be a family decision. For questions like these, I have an in-house mortgage expert that we sit down with. We go through all of your options with you and talk about what you're trying to accomplish. Then we can formulate a plan that's specifically for you. If you decide to move forward with a reverse mortgage or any type of mortgage, a purchase, refinance, or anything else, we can look at all of your options using our in-house mortgage company, and you'll get a friends and family discount on your closing cost. Give me a call at the office and we can sit down and discuss all those details and how they pertain to you. And our next question is, does a reverse mortgage affect my eligibility for Social Security or other benefits? A reverse mortgage does not affect your regular Social Security or Medicare benefits, but it could affect the benefits that you receive from federal supplemental Social Security program or from a state-run program such as Medicaid. You'll want to sit down with a professional. I'd be happy to volunteer and see how all of these factors apply to you. And as always, if you decide to move forward with a reverse mortgage or any type of mortgage, purchase or even refinance, we'll look at all of your options using our in-house mortgage company. You'll also get a friends and family discount on any closing cost. Give us a call and we can sit down and discuss the details and how they pertain to you. The last question we have time for today is this. Can my loved one apply for a reverse mortgage if he didn't buy his present house with an FHA mortgage? Yes, while your loved one's property must meet the minimum standards, it doesn't matter if he didn't buy it with an FHA insured mortgage. The new HUD reverse mortgage will be a new FHA insured loan. Now, we do a whole show on reverse mortgages. If you'll give me a call at the office, I'll send you a complimentary DVD of that show just to help you out. Then if you decide to move forward with a reverse mortgage or any mortgage, purchase, refinance, you can sit down with our in-house professional and we'll look at all of your options, and you also get a discount, friends and family, on your closing cost. So when you come in, we'll sit down and discuss the details and come up with something that's appropriate for you. Stick around after this short break for Right on the Street. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know.
For the last few years, it's been harder to make a consistent return on your money. Are you paying too many fees? Could you get cheaper life insurance rates? Could you pay less taxes? Join the hundreds of others that have dramatically saved money using a free fee analysis. That means you've got to make sure your money is working efficiently for you. Call Winowitz Financial today, 691-2433. That's 691-2433, and start saving money today.
Are you planning for retirement? Which path should you take? How can you avoid mistakes? What about a second opinion? Get sound advice for today's market. Make sure your future is secure. With principal protection, reasonable returns, simplicity and safety, call Winowitz Financial today to schedule your complimentary financial review at 865-691-2433.
And we're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. See what some local people just like you think about the stock market and other financial topics. You may actually see someone that you know. Have you been fishing lately? Do you fish?
Sometimes.
What kind of fishing do you do?
Well, I like just any kind.
Just any kind? Where do you go fishing?
Maybe at the river, on the riverside.
Do you fish?
No.
I
like fish.
You like to eat fish?
I do.
What type of fish do you like to eat?
My favorite is cod.
Cod. Where do you get that around here?
I think you're asking me a lot of questions. Maybe I shouldn't be answering these questions.
No, these are all great. Fishing. Do you like to fish?
Yes.
Where do you like to fish?
Tellico Lake, in the Smoky Mountains in the river, Townsend.
What about just fishing? Do you guys like to fish?
Are you talking about P-H-I-S-H or are you talking about F-I-S-H?
Whichever. How about the first one? Do you know what that means? Fishing, P-H?
Well, I think that's something you want to avoid.
Right. That's concerning identity. You're the first person that's gotten that question correct. Is your cell phone, you have a cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it password protected?
No.
Okay. Can I have it?
No.
Okay. Okay. Is your cell phone password protected?
No.
Okay. Cell phone. Do you own a cell phone?
Yes.
Is it password protected?
Yes.
Okay. What's the password?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. That's the right answer. Let's see. Do you own a cell phone?
Yes.
Is it password protected?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. What's the password?
I'm not going to tell you that question.
Do you own a shredder for documents and paper and stuff at home?
No.
Don't? Okay. If you have some documents that have some personal information, how do you get rid of them?
Just rip them up, throw them away.
Rip them up and throw them away. Do you have a shredder at home for personal information and things that you don't want people getting their hands on?
I do.
What street do you live on? Okay. What street do you live on? Okay. What street do you live on? Okay. What's your mother's maiden name? Okay. What's your mom's maiden name? Okay. Okay. What's your mother's maiden name? Okay. 2 quick questions about identity theft. You know, that's been a big thing in the recent years. People.
My wife's paranoid about identity theft.
Okay, so
would you want to be me? What would happen? Seriously.
I don't know. You got to
like overnight, boom, there you are. You're me. It ain't easy. You think it's easy? It's
I don't think
hard,
so.
Man.
And we're back. This is Right on the Money, and I'm Trey Winowitz. We're just getting ready to wrap up the show, but before we go, I'd like to tell you about an old Louisiana tradition called lagniappe. Lagniappe means to give someone a little something extra. And the way that we want to do that here at Right on the Money is to brighten your day at the end of our show. So with that, here's a little lagniappe for you. Now for all of you out there who are married, were married, or maybe you wish you were married, this is something to smile about the next time you see a bottle of wine. Sally was driving home from her business trip from northern Arizona. She saw an elderly Navajo woman walking on the side of the road. The trip had been long and a quiet one, so Sally decided to stop the car. Then she asked the Navajo woman if she'd like a ride. With a silent nod of thanks, the woman got into the car. Sally resumed the journey, trying in vain to make a bit of small talk with the Navajo woman. The old woman just sat silently, looking intently at everything she saw. Studying every little detail, she noticed a brown bag in the seat next to Sally. "What's in the bag?" asked the old woman. Sally looked down at the brown bag and said, "Oh, it's a bottle of wine. I got it for my husband." The Navajo woman was silent for another moment or two, and then speaking with quiet wisdom of an elder, she said, "Good trade." And that, my friends, is a little lagniappe for today. I want to personally thank you for watching our show today. I hope you found our show helpful as well as a little bit entertaining. If there's anything at all I can help you with financially, please don't hesitate to call our office. And remember, any plan that we come up with will always have 3 main goals for your money. Safety first, or protection of your principal, is always number 1. Making a reasonable return on your money in what some would consider an unreasonable market. And number 3, keeping your plans simple and easy to understand. If that sounds like something you want, I know I can help you. Also, please keep the financial questions coming. We'll do our best to get them answered on the show. I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock for more trusted advice that's right on the money.